Welcome to another episode of Healing the Child Within. I'm your host, Nancy Muller, and today's topic is about getting the things you want and why it's so easy to do. Now, you might be thinking, you know what, Nancy? I've wanted things and it hasn't come so easily to me. So we're going to go over that topic a little bit today. So if this is something that calls to you, which I'm sure it must, or you wouldn't be viewing this video, because remember, there are no accidents in the universe. Everything happens for a reason and in a season. Okay, so let's get into our topic. First, I'm going to start out by asking you if you've ever read some really great books that have really been instrumental to you. I'm a voracious reader, and I have read so many books. In fact, I have a list of suggested reading on my website at masteringyourbeliefs.com. So today's book that I'm going to talk about is listed there as well. If this is a topic that you want to know more about based on where it came to be for me, certainly check it out. And the book that I'm talking about is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I don't know if you've read that book or not, but in the book, Jeff talks about how things are very easy to do and they're very easy not to do. So when you want something in your life, let's say you want better health, let's say you're working on your body and there are certain health goals that you have, and you can either be in a mindset of, you know what, this is really easy to do, or you can be in a mindset of, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen the way that I want it to happen. But in the book, Jeff talks about how everything you want is really easy to do. So if we use this example of our health goals, if you have specific goals for your health that you want to attain, what are the choices that you want to make? You want to eat healthy, move your body, those types of things. So when you wake up in the morning, do you set aside part of your day to do these things to bring you closer to your goal? Now, here's where the easy to do, easy not to do comes into play. Okay, so you might say, you know what, I have put myself on this regiment of how I want to, the choices I want to make to be healthy, because I know if I make these choices, I am going to get to my health goals. I'm going to reach my health goals. But let's say one of those tasks that you've set for yourself is moving your body, whether you're really into exercising or marathon runner or swimming, whatever it is. And you say, okay, today I'm going to get up and I'm going to do, 10 laps in the pool. But then you get up and you look outside and you're like, I don't know, it's raining out and kind of drizzly. I think I'll just snuggle back down in my bed and get some more sleep. So you see, it's easy to do, right? You could have gotten out of bed, you could have gotten into your swimwear and gone for that swim. Or it's also very easy to just snuggle down into bed and get a little bit extra sleep and enjoy that rainy morning. Now, remember, I'm always reminding you that there is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. There simply is. Whatever you choose to do, that's the is part of all of this, okay? But so many people are beating themselves up for the choices they make. So if you decide to roll over and take advantage of the rainy, snuggly, snoozy morning, and you have some dreams and you're just all snuggled, and then you get up, now maybe you're feeling lethargic, and maybe you're feeling like, oh man, I have really sabotaged my goals for my healthy body. So you will say to yourself, okay, you know what? I've already screwed up this day, so I might as well start my day off with coffee and donuts. It's my favorite. I love it. I'm going to do that. It's very easy to do, right? Just fall into those old patterns and habits. Very easy to do. Of course, it's also easy to not do that. It's also easy to stay with the goals that you have set for yourself. Like, oh no, you know what? I think I'm going to have some oatmeal or, a healthy shake or something like that. So we get into these choices of doing this or doing that, right? Whatever you choose to do, something to take you closer to your goal or keep you from your goal or move you away from your goal. Okay, so whatever you choose, it's easy to do. It really is, because when you make up your mind that you're going to commit to this regimen, this practice, then you want to put into place opportunities, choices, things that are going to move you closer to that goal. But if you get up in the morning and you say, I'm just not feeling it today, also, you can give into that. Now, I'm really slowing down when I'm talking about this because I really want you to think about where your mind is when you choose whatever it is that you choose. Because chances are, if you're choosing the option of choices not going towards your goal, you're beating yourself up for that. And here's where the rub is. When you beat yourself up, when you judge yourself, when you are your harshest critic and you're having conversations in your head like, you're worthless, what's wrong with you? Why can't you stick to your commitments? I don't get this. You know that this is what we really want. You see, that is also very easy to do, isn't it? It is. It's easy to do because it's something that you're used to doing. You're used to beating yourself up. And you've gotten to that point where it's so easy to beat yourself up. So you see, it's easy to do the things you say you want to do, and it's easy to do the things you'd like to move away from. Both are easy, very easy. Think about this. Where is your mind going? What is your self-talk saying to you right now? What is it saying? Is it saying like, oh, yeah, I have been really hard on myself. And it would be easier to just give myself a break. It would be easier to stop judging myself. Or is your mind saying, no, it's easy to judge myself because I've been wrong about this. I've been making choices that aren't for my highest good. You see, whatever you're choosing, you're having this back and forth dialogue. And if you're not moving in the direction of your goal, there's a reason for it. So if I were to ask you, why are you not moving in the direction of your goal? You might step back and have 10 excuses that you can come to. Well, it was raining out and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. So whatever excuses you're coming up with, that's resistance. That's what resistance looks like. That's how we stay in that state of resistance, where there's something that we say we want, but we're resisting having it. And then because we are resisting having it, we're just having all kinds of dialogue with ourselves, right? This negative dialogue about why we're no good, why we can't, what's wrong with us? Why can't we stick to a simple plan? What's going on? And we're beating ourselves up, and we can be so vicious in our self-talk. But here's something to think about. One of the reasons that it's easy not to do is because there's a reason that you need to feel what you're feeling when you're choosing the opposite of what you say you want. Remember, I'm always sharing with you that your feelings are driving the bus of your life. So let's stop and take a minute and think about how you feel when you veer from that path that you say you really want. When you wake up in the morning and you look outside and you see that it's raining and you say, okay, I'm not going to get in the pool and do my laps. I'm not going to do my exercise today. So what are you feeling in that moment? Because maybe it's about nurturing yourself. Maybe it's about a really an underlying feeling of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, like you're not worthy of this better health. See, if you don't know what you're feeling at any moment, at any given moment, if you can't just stop and be present and be in the present moment and say, how am I feeling right now? How do I feel about that? And not judge it. Remember, we want to practice the art of non-judgment, because this is where the gold is. This is where the change comes from, when you can stop and say, well, how am I feeling about this? How am I feeling right now? What am I feeling about not doing the exercise? Why is it so easy for me not to do it? Because let's face it, if it's something that you really want, you're going to do it. So if there's a reason, and there always is, this underlying cause, this underlying belief, this underlying drive that's keeping you from what you say you want, what does that feel like? What does it feel like not to do what you say that you want to do for yourself? Because maybe you're looking for some nurturing. Maybe you'd like to do something that in your mind you're saying, I'm just going to be stubborn about this. I'm not going to do this. But there's a part of you that wants to be stubborn and then have that nurturing. Have someone say, it's okay that you didn't do that. It's okay. Tomorrow is another day, or we've got the rest of today. What would you like to do? Because remember, this is all about healing your inner child. So if there was a pattern that you formatted, a pattern that you formed, a pattern that you created in your childhood, when you made a decision, maybe you got punished for it, maybe you were judged really harshly for it, and there was a big part of you, that child you, that just said, I just wish someone would understand that I don't feel like doing this right now. I just wish someone would understand that I just want to be a kid today. I just want to, I don't know, lay around and watch my cartoons, or read my comic books, or climb a tree. And I want that to be okay. But if that is not what happened, if your child self did not get that nurturing, that encouragement to do what your soul was calling you to do, then you see you've gotten into that pattern of, this is what I really want, but I'm being denied this. And so I'm going to fight against it. I'm going to rail against it. And, as children, we find ways to get back at people, experiences, right? And we think, that'll fix them. That'll show them. And we don't realize it, but we create then that pattern of really of wanting something, of being denied that, and then how we deal with it. And then we bring that with us into our adult life, and we don't realize that we are following that same pattern. We want something in our adult life. We're being denied that, whether someone else is denying us or we're denying ourselves. Because remember, it's not about whether or not someone else is denying us or we are denying it ourselves. It's about the feeling of being denied. That's what it is. It's that feeling of being denied. So when you have that feeling of being denied, what comes next? Punishment, judgment. How are you giving that to yourself over and over and over again? How are you sabotaging the very thing you say you want, and yet not giving it to yourself? You see, doing inner work, this work, it goes very deep. And remember, this is not to blame your parents or whoever those people were that punished you or denied you. Because if you are an adult and you are still blaming someone else for where you are in your life right now, that's basically an opportunity for you to do some inner work. So when you recognize your pattern of habit, where are you finding yourself setting goals, not reaching them, setting more goals, not reaching them? Because you see, setting goals is about having something, right? You say, I desire this, but either you or someone else is denying you having that. What does that feel like? Think about it. What does it feel like? Now, it's important to know the difference between what you're feeling about this situation or this experience that you're having and what you're thinking. Because what you're feeling, that's coming from your higher self. That's coming from the soul that is you. When you're thinking, that's coming from the ego. That's the judgment. That's the part of you that is self-preservation. The ego part of you that's saying, you know what, let's just blame someone else, because certainly this couldn't be your fault. Certainly it's not your fault that you are where you are. Look at this person that did that and that person that said that. And you see, the ego part of you is giving you all of these opportunities to blame an outside source when there is no blame. There is no blame ever, ever, ever. It's only about each person taking 100% responsibility for where they are and the choices they make. That's all we have control over. But we think that we have to control others, that we have to blame others and get others to understand why it's their fault that we're making the choices that we are, or that we're stuck doing what we are. So if you go back to remembering that what you say you want, it's very easy to have. It's very easy to take those steps to be closer to your goal. And it's just as easy not to take those steps. Now, remember, a goal, when you want to be very careful with your definition of a goal, because a goal indicates that when you reach a certain place, that everything will be perfect. Oh, when I get that, then my life will be perfect. When I have that, my life will be amazing. But you see, you are depending on reaching that point in order to feel whatever it is that you want to feel. When in all actuality, you can create that feeling within you at the present moment. And when you are feeling that feeling of what you say you want in the present moment, it's so much easier to obtain what you want. Now, here's another thing for you to think about. When you say you want, I want, when you're constantly putting that out to the universe, I want to be healthier. I want to be richer. I want to be in a different neighborhood. Remember, our words are so powerful and they hold such amazing weight with the universe. So when you are speaking the words, I want, to the universe, what you're saying is, keep me in a state of want. Think about that for a minute. How does that rock your world today? You see, it's about knowing what you're feeling when you say you want something. When you say, I want a healthier body, you're continually in that state of want. What does it feel like to want that? It might even feel amazing to say, I want that. Oh yeah. And you think about it and you think about the end result, and this would be so amazing. But when you're continually using the words, I want, you're keeping yourself in a state of want. Remember, the universe is neutral. The universe doesn't say, oh, okay, I can see that she's really trying today. So I'm going to give her a little bit more today. That's not how it works. When you're telling the universe you want, the universe will keep you in a state of want. So what does wanting feel like? And when you are wanting something, that feeling, emotion, belief about wanting it is what makes it easy for you to make the choices that you want to make to bring you closer to what you say you want, or it makes it easy for you to make the choice not to do or say or choose an action that will bring you closer to that. This is why our words are so important. It's so important to pay attention to the words that we use. We don't realize the weight that our words hold. Every word that you speak is like placing an order with the universe. I want this. I desire this. So where are you in this whole, it's easy for me to do this, it's easy for me not to do this? Where are you in this back and forth tug of war that you have with yourself about obtaining, manifesting, receiving the abundance, joy, prosperity, happiness that you say you want to experience? Where are you on that? Are you making choices to bring you closer to that on a daily basis? Or are you making choices to push that farther away? Because remember, life is a practice. It's not an end goal. It's not like, okay, when I get there, everything's going to be perfect. Because when you get there, you realize there's no there. You're there, and now you're still looking for ways to, okay, well, what's next? And this is what I'm talking about when I always say that we are continually expanding and contracting, right? We expand to where we say we want to be, and then we're there, and we're like, oh, okay, now do you want to expand further from that point? Or do you shrink back and continually have that, I have it, I don't have it, I have it, I don't have it? Where are you on that? It's important for you to know where you are on this scale of wanting and where you are in your speech and the words that you use. It's important for you to know how you're feeling, because your feeling, whatever you're feeling, is the vibration that you're putting out there into the universe and what you're drawing back to you. So when you wake up and you decide, okay, I make this choice, maybe you do decide it, you make a choice, and but we don't always realize that we make choices from all different levels, right? So when you choose to have that coffee and donuts and you choose unhealthy choices, and then you beat yourself up for it, pay attention to that cycle. Is it a cycle of desiring something, not getting what you asked, and then being punished? If that is the cycle that you learn to feel as a child, you are repeating it in your adult self, and you yourself are denying yourself the very thing that you say you want, the very experience that you say you want. You see, it's so powerful to know that we have this power. We have this tremendous inner strength to bring anything into our life that we say we want. We are the creator of our life. We speak the words. We make the choices. We think the thoughts. We have the beliefs. It's us. Now, when you are shifting your perspective and when you are practicing your spiritual journey of expansion and you're feeling good in the moment, but then maybe you'll watch a movie or hear something on the TV or the radio or something in social media, and it kind of harshes your mellow, it just brings you down, and you're like, oh man, this is just not good. This is just not good. And then you find yourself spiraling down into that negative rabbit hole of negative emotions, feelings, and beliefs. And you don't even stop to realize, like, oh, it was because at that exact moment, I heard something or I saw something that completely hijacked my feelings at the moment, but I was not staying present. I was not paying attention to my feeling in the moment. And because of that, I allowed it to sweep me away into this direction that I prefer not to go. Now, remember, if you have the power to sweep you in the direction you don't want to go, you also have the power to sweep you in the direction that you do want to go. Now, how do you do that? If you're feeling really negative and you just realize that you're down in the dumps and you're beating yourself up and you're judging yourself, you're punishing yourself, it only takes 16 seconds of a happy thought. Disney was quite profound when they talk about in Peter Pan, think happy thoughts and you can fly. If you think about it that way, it's the same thing, right? Think happy thoughts, because when you're thinking sad thoughts, when you're thinking negative thoughts, you're heavy, you're dense, you stay down. When you're thinking happy thoughts, you're lighter. Now, gravity, of course, has a great deal to play here. So it's not exactly like you're going to take flight, but you get the gist, right? It's about feeling lighter in person, in the person that you are, lighter in your thinking, lighter in your concepts of, this is who I am. I am so amazing. I am all that in a box of chocolates. I am fabulous. Are you in a place where you can say that, or are you in that heavy space? Because remember, both are easy to do and both are easy not to do. Life is all about choices, and you get to choose every single second, half second, millisecond. You get to choose where you want to be. But if you wake up in the morning and you're in that space of, oh, it's raining and I don't want to do my laps in the pool and I'm just not where I am, and you need that time to snuggle back under the covers, feel free to pay attention and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I getting out of this? Because even if there's a part of you that is thinking that you're doing something wrong, and I'm putting that in air quotes because remember, there's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong. But if you're telling yourself you're doing something wrong, what belief is that feeding? And do you need to hold on to that belief anymore? Is that a belief that you can let go of? You see, at any given moment, you can ask yourself, where am I on this? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Where do I want to go from here? If this is something that you want to know more about, if you'd like to master your beliefs around any subject, I invite you to visit my website at masteringyourbeliefs.com. You can download the e-course, you can get the free download, you can book a session with me, you can look at the suggested reading. There is plenty of information there that can answer the questions that brought you to this space in the moment. Because it's always about knowing where you are in any given moment. Where am I? What am I thinking about? How do I believe? What do I believe? Do I believe in myself? Do I not believe in myself? Am I beating myself up? Remember, whatever you're thinking, it's easy to think positive and it's easy to think negative. The choice is yours. Whatever you choose, know that you are amazing. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.